So this equation is giving the relationship between the balance that you have on your student loan, represented by, and the number of monthly payments that you make on that by the letter capital N. So the question is, what are the units on the 29400? And we have to look at this in terms of sort of the y equals mx plus b. Let me get my pen going here. And we're going to match it up with the formula. All right, so the number in front of x, or your variable, is the slope. The other number, in this case the 29,400, is the b. So our b is 29,400, and that's the y-intercept. But in terms of the problem, and what does this represent, and what are the units on it, well, remember the y-intercept means it's where it crosses the y-axis. So the units of our y, or our output, is going to be in dollars. So this is representing $29,400. But then, what is that? Remember, if it's a y-intercept, y-intercepts represent an initial amount. So an initial amount of, and then we have two choices, of your student loan or monthly payment. So if it's in dollars, it's going to be your student loan. So that's what you're starting out with, is your debt is $29,400. Okay. So the units on it, I've put the dollar symbol on it, and then the explanation, what does it represent in terms of the problem? It's the initial amount of student loan. So for part B, what are the units on 250? Well, notice there's a negative in front of that 250, and the 250 is in front of a variable, which means that's our slope, and it's decreasing by 250. If it's our slope, or our average rate of change, remember it's going to be something per something. So I look back at the units here, and I've got dollars and I've got months. So remember, the months is our kind of like our input variable, or like our x, and that's going to be on the bottom. And the top label is dollars. So something's happening, $250 per month, is going on here. So what does that represent in terms of the problem? Well, again, average rate of change means sort of on average. Now, we don't have a time unit here, so I'm not going to say between the years 1900 and there's no years, so skip that part. But something is decreasing by $250 per month. And the question is, what's decreasing? And that would be your student loan. You're paying it down. So the student loan decreases because it's a negative number, right? The slope was negative, by $250 each month, or per month. What is the balance, so we're looking for B, on the loan after 5 years? Well, we have my formula, 29,400 minus 250 N. But remember, N represents months. So if I plug in 5, that's just telling me what happens after 5 months, or what my balance is after 5 months. I want it after 5 years. So I have to convert 5 years to how many months is that? Well, there's 12 months in 1 year. So in 5 years, there's 60 months. And then that's the end value that I plug in, not the number 5, but the 60. So my balance after 60 months, or 5 years, is found by just computing this. Minus 250 times 60. And I believe you have a whopping still $14,400 to pay down on. Okay. How many years? So we're looking for N, ultimately, our time unit, will it take to pay off the loan? Round your answer to the nearest year. Well, if I'm paying down a loan to a balance that, I'm paying it off, then the balance is 0. I have no balance left if I've paid off the loan. I put in my values here from my equation and then solve for N. Keeping in mind that when I get N, that's going to be in months. So don't be too surprised. I'm going to leave the N alone. I'm going to subtract this away first from both sides of the equation. Bring down. All right, and then to get the N by itself, it's hooked to the negative 250 by multiplication. So we divide it off. And there's the equals there. So N came out to be, I believe, 117.6 months. Might want to check that number. I'm not feeling it. Where's my calculator? Oop, there it is. All right, so 29400 divided by 250. Yep, that's exactly what it was. But that's, again, in months. So I want to know the number of years. So I don't multiply by 12. In this case, I would divide by 12. So that would be about 9.8 years. So I took that 117.6 and divided by 12, all right, to get the number of years.